In number 1, we're multiplying 578 times 35. So first we line up the numbers vertically and make sure that you right align the numbers. All right, so the 8 and the 5 are lined up. Start the multiplication with the digit to the right, okay, with the 5, and we're going to multiply 5 times 8, which is 40. Put down the 0 and carry the 4. 5 times 7 is 35, add the 4, we have 39, put down the 9, carry the 3. 5 times 5 is 25, add 3, and we have 28. Now we continue our multiplication with the next digit, with 3. And now we're going to skip one space and start filling in one space to the left. Okay, that's because 3 is in the tens place. 3 times 8 is 24, so we're going to align the 4 underneath the 9 and carry the 2. 3 times 7 is 21, and 2 is 23. So we'll put the 3 here, carry the 2. 3 times 5 is 15, and 2 is 17. Alright, so let's fill in the 17. And just add the 2 columns, bring down that 0. 9 and 4 is 13. That's put down the 3 and carry the 1. 8 and 1 is 9, and 3 is 12. Put down the 2, carry the 1. Here we have 3. 1 and 2 is 3, and 7 is 10. Put down the 0, carry the 1. And 1 and 1 is 2. So there's our product. Remember, when we multiply two numbers, the result is called the product. In number 2, let's align our numbers, one underneath the other. And we make sure the right-hand digits are lined up. Start our multiplication with 2. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 6 is 12, but then the 2 carry the 1. 2 times 4 is 8, and 1 is 9. Now we're going to multiply by 0, and that gives us a row of zeros. 0 times 3, 0 times 6, and 0 times 4. Alright, next we're ready to start multiplication by 3. 3 times 3 is 9, and once again we indent one digit. 3 times 6 is 18. Carry the 1. 3 times 4 is 12, and 1 is 13. So let's bring down that 6. 2 plus 0 is 2. Here we have 9 plus 9 is 18. 1 plus 8 is 9. Bring down the 3 and bring down the 1. And there's our product. If we are multiplying numbers that end with a few zeros, we can simply multiply the leading digits, ignoring the zeros, because the zeros would just produce a lot of rows of zeros. And then when we get our answer, we're going to add on the total number of trailing zeros in both numbers. So the total number of zeros is 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so let's try this. So we're going to multiply 25 times 32. So like I said, we'll ignore those 4 zeros for now. Okay, let's start the multiplication. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 2 is 4, and 1 is 5. 3 times 5 is 15, and we're indenting. Put down the 5, carry the 1. 3 times 2 is 6, and 1 is 7. And let's add. We have 0, 5 and 5 is 10, and 7 and 1 is 8. Okay, so that's not our final answer. Our final answer is 800, and now we're going to have to add on 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. And that's our product. $8 million. In number 4, we have a division. So we're going to divide 2,405 by 37. So let's rewrite this the following way. 37 divided into 2,405. Okay, so first we try 37 into 2. Obviously doesn't go even once. 37 into 24 also doesn't go in once. So keep on going, and we're going to first ask how many times does 37 go into 240. So we're going to estimate how many times 37 goes into 240. Well, 37 is close to 33, and 33 goes into 100 3 times, and here we're talking about 200s, so that would be 3 times for one and 3 times for the other, which would be 6. So let's say approximately 6, maybe 7, but let's try 6. Let's multiply 37 times 6. 6 times 7 is 42. Put down the 2, carry the 4. 6 times 3 is 18, and 4 is 22. So that's good. Okay, so make sure you put the 6 at the end of the 240. All right, now we multiply 6 times 37, we get 222, and now we're going to subtract. Okay, here we'll borrow. Put a 1 here, and let's put a 3 here. 10 subtract 2 is 8. 3 subtract 2 is 1. Now, as long as this number is less than 37, then our digit in the quotient is correct. All right. If this were more than 37, then 37 would go into 240 another time as well. So maybe we would have to change this. Okay. Next, let's bring down the 5. And now 37 into 185. Maybe we'll try 3 times for the 100, and maybe another 2 for the 85. So let's try 5. 37 times 5. 7 times 5 is 35. Carry the 3. 5 times 3 is 15, and 1 is 18. So we have an exact division. All right. 5 times 37 is 185. So an exact division, that is, we have a remainder of 0. And on top we have the quotient. And now let's divide 45 into 9,135. 45 is called the divisor. That's what we're dividing by. And our answer will be the quotient. All right, so 45 goes into 91 2 times. 2 times 45 is 90, so let's put that down here. Subtract and we get 1. And now bring down the 3. 45 does not go into 13, so make sure we put a 0 up here. And then immediately just bring down another number. But don't forget that 0. Whenever we bring down two numbers in a row like that, we have two arrows that are the same length, then we're going to have a 0 up here in the quotient. So now we bring down the 5. And 45 into 135, well, 45 goes into 100 two times, so let's try 3. Okay, let's multiply 45 times 3. Here we have 15. 3 times 4 is 12, and 1 is 13. 135. So again, we have an exact division. 3 times 45 is 135. Exact division, that means no remainder. Remainder 0. Okay, and number 6, we take the divisor, 13, and we're dividing it into 6, 5, 1, 5, 6. That is 65,156. Alright, so first we're going to try 13 into 65. Well, let's try 5. And here we have 15. 5 times 1 is 5 and 1 is 6. Okay, so 5 times. Multiply, we get 65. And that's remainder 0. Let's bring down the 1. 13 does not go into 1, so immediately bring down another number. Now, okay, we'll put a 0 up here, because 13 doesn't go into 1. Bring down another number, bring down 5. Okay, 13 doesn't go into 15. Sorry, 13 goes into 15 one time. Alright, 1 times 13 is 13. Subtract, we have 2. And then bring down the 6. 13 goes into 26 exactly 2 times. 2 times 13 is 26. Okay, so we have an even division, remainder 0. Again, notice here we had 2 arrows in a row the same length. Whenever that happens, whenever we bring down two numbers, we are going to get a 0 right here in the quotient. Okay, number 7, we're asked to find the quotient and remainder, so we're not expecting a remainder 0. So we're going to set this up, 41 divided into 289. Well, 41 does not go into 28, so we're going to look at 41 into 289. Well, 41 goes into 100 two times, so we're going to estimate that we have 2 times for one of the 100s, 2 times for another, so far we're up to 4, and then 5, 6 for 89. 41 goes twice into 89, so we're aiming for maybe 6. So let's multiply 41 times 6. 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 4 is 24. Okay, so we have 6 times, put that 6 all the way at the end, and 6 times 41 is 246, and now we're subtracting, and here we have 3, and here we have 4. So notice we got 43, and 43 is bigger than 41, so that means that that 41 goes into 289 one more time, so I'm going to increase this to 7. Okay, so let's multiply 41 times 7. 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 4 is 28. So we put the 7 at the end of the number, and because we're doing 41 into 289, multiply 7 times 41, and we see that we get 287. Subtract, and we have 2, and 2 is our remainder. Sometimes we write the quotient like this: 7 remainder 2. Okay, let's do one more. So we're doing 16 divided into 67,324. So first we know that 16 doesn't go into 6, so we're going to try for 67. We're going to estimate how many times 16 goes into 67. Well, 16 times 2 is 32, and 32 and 32 is 64. So I'm going to try for 4. 16 times 4. 4 times 6 is 24. 4 times 1 is 4, and 2 is 6. And now we subtract, and we have 3. Bring down the 3. 16 goes into 33 2 times. 2 times 16 is 32. Subtract, we have 1. And now bring down the 2. 16 doesn't go into 12, so we're going to put a 0 here. And then let's bring down the 4. You see 2 hours in a row the same length, so we end up with a 0 up here. And so now we're looking at 16 into 124. Okay, well, 16 times 4 was 64. If we double 64, we get 128. All right, that's too much. So let's go for 7, not 8. So we're looking at 16 times 7. 7 times 6 is 42. 7 times 1 is 7, and 4 is 11. Alright, so 7 times 16, we have 112. And now let's subtract. So here we have 2 and 1, and that's our remainder. Remainder 12. Now we'll see how to check that we have the right answer. So here's our check. To check, we multiplied the divisor times the quotient. If we don't have a remainder, then the divisor times the quotient is this number. We call this the dividend. In this problem, we have a remainder, so we're going to multiply the divisor times the quotient and then add the remainder. So let's do that. Let's multiply. So that's the quotient times the divisor. 6 times 7 is 42. 6 times 0 is 0, and plus 4 is 4. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 4 is 24, and 1 is 25. Now we just multiply by 1. 1 times 7, 1 times 0, 1 times 2, 1 times 4, and add. So we have 2, 7 and 4 is 11. Here we have 3, 5 and 2 is 7, 2 and 4 is 6. And now we're going to add that remainder. So this is the remainder that we add in. Because you see this number 67312 is not equal to the dividend, but after we add the remainder, what do we get? Well, here we have 4, here we have 2, 3, 7, and 6. So we do get, after adding the remainder, we do get the dividend. So I'm just going to put a little check mark. Okay, so that means that our answer is correct.